Hello guys, the Italian Stallion himself, North Pro Balloon here, again with another goddamn video. So today I decided to do something a little bit different, so we're going to have a little bit of a discussion here. So during this time of the year, a lot of people are discussing what the new Call of Duty is going to be. So I'm not really the biggest COD fan, but I just heard a new speculation about what the next COD could be, and maybe if it's this, it could really get me back into the franchise. I've just had enough with this kind of cutesy ass futuristic bullshit that we've been getting usually. And it really needs to stop. Like, I enjoy World at War, I enjoy Modern Warfare, and even Modern Warfare Remastered. It's not the best game, but it's still pretty decent. It's a much better improvement than Infinite Warfare or Black Ops 3. And even Black Ops 3, it was okay. It was really nothing special, and I hated the multiplayer after, like, it was good like the first couple of goes, but like after a while, after months of playing it, it just got awful. It was shit. And it was way too pay to win. So I'm going to stop being around the bush and let's just get straight into it. So pretty much this idea is Call of Duty Vietnam, and I find the Vietnam War very interesting. It's pretty much the only war that America has lost so far. And just the tactics and like just pure guerrilla warfare of it, I think it would make a great video game. But I don't really know if it would make a great COD game. I think that Call of Duty in its modern stance would kind of fuck it up because think about like Black Ops 3 and then compare it to World at War. If you want to make a Call of Duty Vietnam, it would have to be a lot like World at War. World at War, there are no camos, there are no emblems. It was very bare bones. It was very almost like serious. With like games like Black Ops 3, it's a lot more cutesy. The art style is very cartoony, and it just really doesn't take itself serious. That's definitely fine for something like a modern time waster or a futuristic like bullshit ass game. But like for the Vietnam War, you need to think about it. People actually died in the Vietnam War, and yeah, you kind of need to take it serious. Like I personally couldn't imagine any camos like the Hyper Beast. Actually, no, it's from CS:GO, but still serves an example. Like, can you imagine the Hyper Beast on the Car 98? It just wouldn't work, especially on World at War. World at War was a very gray game, and I also think that COD Vietnam would have to have a very gray and very dark color palette to it, and it can't be cartoony like the bright ass game that is Black Ops 3. And if you enjoy Infinite Warfare and if you enjoy Black Ops 3, yeah, that's fine for you. It's just not really my cup of tea. I'm much more of a fan of more serious games. I prefer games with more realistic color palettes, like the Souls games. Those games look beautiful, and its color scheme is really gray, and it's very vibrant in a way, and there's a very like clear distinction between like just like a dungeon and then flames. And like Black Ops 3, it looks like it was stripped out right out of a fucking Deadpool comic. And I love Deadpool, but I'm just saying, it looks completely ripped out of it. And that's kind of bad because isn't Call of Duty supposed to be a tad bit serious? Like, take away all the MLG shit, take away the quick scoping, and like take it back to like Call of Duty 1, Call of Duty Finest Hour, Call of Duty the Big Red One, and all those classic games. They're supposed to be serious for our times. And now, it's just kind of a parody of it. Just in general, look at a character from Black Ops 3 and look at a character from the original Modern Warfare, the original World at War, or anything like that. Just look at the distinction between the two. And it's mind boggling how far we've just fallen off this path. Another thing that Call of Duty Vietnam needs is it needs to implement more features that actually are decent. Like the bunny hopping from before, that was an awful idea. I don't understand how they got the idea to have Titanfall without the Titans, the core aspect. But that's just like Black Ops 3 ripped off Destiny's multiplayer with the specialists and even like the mobility in it. It's very Destiny-esque. And Infinite Warfare might as well just be a repackaged version of Black Ops 3. Actually, no, it's like a Chinese counterfeit version of Black Ops 3. Black Ops 3 was decent. Infinite Warfare is just complete shit. I don't understand how Infinity Ward, the people who made Call of Duty 2 the Big Red One, the original Call of Duty, and the original Modern Warfare, how they could steep to such a low level where they make Infinite Warfare. And even worse, it was packaged with Zombies in Spaceland. And I know I'm going very off topic, but seriously, Zombies in Spaceland could be one of the shittiest zombies maps I've ever played in my whole fucking existence. I've played custom zombies box maps that were 10 times better than this piece of shit. So let's get back on topic here, back to Call of Duty Vietnam. Yeah, this game needs better mechanics and better features. The problem with Call of Duty is it's very similar from game to game, and you need some sort of like new aspect. My personal idea would be to like implement a stealth system so you can pretty much play the game like goddamn Solid Snake and like sneak up on enemies and you could like hide in bushes. I'm not talking about like actually the problem with that would be camping, but like I think it would be very interesting like being able to hide in mud, being able to hide in the trees, being able to climb up trees and then like bonsai strike them or some shit like that. That just sounds like a very interesting concept in my eyes. And in general, that's something I'd like to see. Because the Vietnam War was very heavily influenced by kind of like sneak attacks and hit and runs. And I really like to see that implemented into the game. And in all honesty, I'd much rather see a Battlefield Vietnam than a Call of Duty. Because I feel like a Battlefield, it would be much easier to implement all these features, and to implement napalms, implement flamethrowers, and also what would also be very nice to see in Call of Duty is some destructibility with the backgrounds and props, because in Call of Duty you can barely interact with anything. And I understand that Call of Duty is supposed to be a classic boots on ground kind of arcade shooter, but still I think it would be very interesting to just have them experiment with a little bit of like destructible buildings, props, or maybe even simple things like barrels. Like I'm kind of thinking about CS Source, how like the maps weren't destructible, but there were some elements, some props that you could like kind of screw around with. Just something like very simple, very nice, short and sweet, and something to add a little bit of flavor to the bland concept. And also another thing this game needs is good ass guns. I'm sorry, but these futuristic guns, they're not interesting. You'd think because it's in the future, they'd be able to make like Quake ass guns, like you have like the arsenal from Doom, but no, they just been pumping out like you always have the classic like AK clone, you have the submachine gun, and you just kind of fill in the same sort of cliches for guns, and it's just getting boring now. Like, what's the difference between the VMP and a gun like the MP7? It's pretty much like there's no point of putting in the future if you're not going to implement new and unique gun designs. Like, I don't understand, like, Black Ops 3, you would think that they'd have guns like the railgun, you would have Quake-ass guns, but no, and if there are any interesting guns, like laser guns and shit like that, guess where they are? They're in the supply drops, and that's another thing that Call of Duty needs to get rid of, these goddamn supply drops. And I need to admit, the system in Modern Warfare Remastered and Infinite Warfare is better than the goddamn crypto keys, but I'd really like to see like the progression system much better than in Modern Warfare Remastered, because in Modern Warfare Remastered, yeah, you could earn everything by just playing, and you could earn the currency, I forget what it's called, but to get all the variants. But guess what? That's going to take fucking forever. And in general, I think it needs to be a lot more faster. And I know the point is to scam people out of money, especially little children. But still, come on, it needs to be a little bit faster. Come on. Like, I don't want to pay for microtransactions. I don't understand how anyone could afford $40 to just waste on to just buy. Like, at least in CSGO, when you buy a skin, that's worth real life money. That is worth actual currency. But then when you buy like say if you get in a rare supply drop you get variants, or you get like a new badass weapon, guess what you can do with that weapon? You can use it only in the game, and pretty much you can't sell it back. But in CSGO, it's kind of like the stock market in a way. You make investments, and yeah, most of the time the gun's going to lose value over time, because that's just the simple concept of supply and demand. But sometimes your skin that you bought for like $3, it could actually skyrocket in price because of low drops. And yeah, you could get like it up to like $15, and you can make some money off of it. So there's an investment. It would be nice to have a system like CSGO with CSGO's inventory, but the thing is, think about it. most people who play Call of Duty, they're playing it on the consoles, and a system like that only works on PC. So yeah, probably most likely they're not going to do it. It'd be nice to actually be able to like buy the guns, like have like, okay, I'll pay $15 for this gun, and I'll no doubt have it. There's no gambling involved, and it's just simple, plain and simple. I have the gun. That's nice. Then that's what I like about CS:GO. Instead of Call of Duty, where pretty much you have to keep on rolling that. It's pretty much a slot machine. Just keep on rolling the slot machine. Keep on rolling the slot machine until maybe like after your like 200th attempt, you'll get a shitty ass melee weapon. The final thing that I think Call of Duty Vietnam needs is a good campaign. And I'm not talking about one of like the Hollywood blockbuster campaigns that we usually get for Call of Duty. I'm thinking about like more like one from like World at War, Call of Duty, Call of Duty 3, Call of Duty the Big Red One. Like a simple campaign where you're a soldier that's drafted into the war and you're sent to Vietnam and you just need to survive. Instead of like the Hollywood bullshit, like you're some like super soldier, you're part of the SAS, and you're top of the line, you're like jumping through buildings and shit. Like I think it should be very bare bones. It should take a lot of influence from movies like Apocalypse Now and Full Metal Jacket. And I think it'd be interesting to have like a tutorial that's kind of homage to Full Metal Jacket, where you kind of have like a same like character-esque one of the drill sergeant, and you need to like go through boot camp, and then you get put into the war, and then like some shit happens, you like get like separated from your squadron, and you just kind of like have to go through the jungle. There's napalms, a lot of flamethrowers, in general fire. I think fire is a big aspect of the Vietnam War, so definitely have a lot of fire. Like I think it'd be really interesting to have like whole missions where you just have jungles like fully lit on fire, and you kind of need to like maneuver your way throughout to make sure you don't get burns. And even in multiplayer, I think would be very interesting. It's actually kind of tying back into the destructible objects. Like think about, what if you like threw a Molotov cocktail or like anything at a tree and it lit on fire? That would be amazing, and I think that'd be an awesome concept. But in general, the campaign needs to be, it can't be a Hollywood blockbuster. It can't be one of those bullshit ass stories like you shouldn't be a part of like the special force or something like that. You should be just a normal ass Marine just fighting through. Like for example, Call of Duty World at War's campaign. You're just a normal soldier throughout all of it. Both campaigns, you're just a normal ass soldier just trying to survive. The new Call of Duty is just pretty much making too much of a badass. So yeah, so that's the video. I hope you enjoyed it. It might be a little bit of a rambling, but I hope, maybe, possibly, you enjoyed all of it. I really appreciate it if you like, commented, or subscribed. And yeah, just comment down below what's your opinion on it. I'm North Provolone, the Italian stallion himself, and pretty much I just want you to stay enlightened.